I just been dummy busy, and you've been busy.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Especially after the strike, it was just like it's go time.
yeah, yeah. Hey, say what's up to my homies in here, man, on my
Look,
YouTube. Hey, y'all, this the homie Kareem
what it
Grimes.
do?
Y'all know what it
What's
is.
going on, y'all? My
Yeah,
boy Zone right here. We go
come
way
on.
back.
We do, we
Like,
do.
listen, I'm talking about sitting around chopping it up and Zoe's dropping game. I'm talking about at least 10 years. Back then, you was
Damn,
dropping game.
that is
No,
crazy.
like, you was dropping, like, you opened me up. I was just, like, on some, like, oh, I didn't think of it like that. Okay. All right, well,
Righteous,
let me go and do some research.
righteous,
You know what I'm
righteous,
saying? So,
righteous.
man, definitely, brother, it's always a pleasure to see you, man. And,
Hey, man, let's catch
congratulations,
up. All
my
right.
guy. Indeed,
Yes.
man.
All right, now.
Indeed.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
What up, y'all? I gotta do this quick. Hey, y'all stupid. I hear y'all. Y'all stupid. Y'all dumb as hell.
Exactly what's going on because it takes two to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story. So she's driving me insane, love stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing me games, and I'm about to break the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light. See the light.
Being in survival mode after being in a relationship with someone who is narcissistic is very common. This feeling, overwhelming, anxious feeling that you feel either after the relationship has ended or even if you have to still deal with the person, whether it's someone you're co-parenting with or someone in your family, someone you just can't escape. It's very common to feel like you're in the survival mode and fight or flight mode constantly because of what you've been through. Since this person is very manipulative, very self-centered, extremely selfish, abused you in ways that you didn't really understand, whether it's emotional abuse, maybe even physical abuse, because of the things that you've gone through that I think sometimes we don't really realize had such an impact on how we feel. Like we didn't even realize that we were in this constant heightened state of not knowing when the shoe was going to drop or not knowing what was going to happen next. And that causes your body to be trained to kind of live in that real chronic stress response. It's the unpredictable environment. It's not knowing what this person's going to do or say next. It's all of those things that when you're in those environments for long periods of time, it has a negative impact on you. The negative impact that it has is that you essentially went through trauma and now you're learning how to deal with that trauma response that keeps coming up. A trauma response refers to.
Ladies and gentlemen, the VOR back in the building live. KBLA Talk 1580 in the heart of Leimert Park. You already know what it is. You already know what we're about to do. I wanted to get, I want to get deep, right? Because we hear a lot of people say things like, everybody's saying the word trauma and turn it into a fad. Robin just said it. She's 100% correct. But a lot of people will say they're in survival mode in a relationship. And that's become kind of faddish. Can I tell you what survival mode is really? Survival mode, originally developed as a response to acute stress, has become a prevalent state of being within intimate relationships. On tonight's show, we're going to try to explore the purpose and meaning of living in survival mode within these types of relationships. We're going to draw inspiration from the metaphor of how impoverished communities extract the absolute best from the absolute least of what society and the environment can provide. By examining the questions posed, and we'll be referencing the work of Dr. Joe Dispenza, we're going to try to delve into the clinical, the philosophical, the psychological, and social aspects of survival mode in relationships. Now, let's just get deep, man. Let's just get deep. The brain chemistry behind survival mode originally served an important purpose. If we are in danger of being eaten by a tiger in the wild, we need an acute stress response if we are to survive. However, when the stress ends, our brains are supposed to return to normal. When that doesn't happen, you find yourself in survival mode. Can I just get with y'all for a second? Many of us are in survival mode because of how we think, because of what happened to us in the past. This is where the childhood trauma piece comes from. Many of us create a world. The way we look at the world puts us in survival mode because that's all we know. And when we're in survival mode, I will call it discount love. That's tonight's topic. Discount love, i.e., survival mode relationships. Can you get by on the, listen to what, can you get by on crumbs in intimate relationships? I'm from the projects. You understand? Alton Park, Chattanooga, Tennessee. And boy, when you talk about for dinner, we had popcorn and hot sauce, hog head cheese and crackers, and we needed something heavy on our stomachs, and baked potatoes. That was dinner. Getting by on the bare minimum. That's diet love. And I want to point out, sometimes we put ourselves in these positions to experience diet love based on how we think, based on what is our normal, based on our perspective and how we see the world. Diet love, i.e., survival mode. Ooh, you get discounted love / relationships when you discount yourself. Survival means, in my opinion, waiting or holding on. Because when we were in the projects, that's all we thought about was, what is the rest of the world like? I can't wait until we get out of here. It was just like this prolonged holding on. Kind of like that old hymnal, we shall overcome. When will we overcome? Sometimes being in survival mode has that kind of feeling, right? I've got questions. I want you to get to your phone lines. This is a a non-judgmental conversation. And of course, I want people to jump in and share their thoughts and experiences with me, especially my friends and family here in Los Angeles. The number to dial is 1-800-920-1580. How does living in survival mode affect the dynamics of intimate relationships? What are the common signs that a relationship is operating in survival mode? How does brain chemistry, uh, you know, actually bring about survival mode, and what is its impact on our ability to connect with our partners? Can a relationship thrive if both partners are in survival mode? How does the fear of scarcity influence our behavior in intimate relationship? What are some strategies for cultivating a sense of abundance and security within a survival mode relationship? Is that even possible? 1-800-920-1580, 1-800-920-1580. I want to hear from you tonight. What or how does the concept of discount love manifest in survival mode relationships? We got questions. I want to bring you guys in. Let's talk about it tonight.
The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings will disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 15.
Oh, that's Robin.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that caring for the community means caring about the climate. You might have heard that we announced a pretty bold 12-month.
What up, mindset? I'll tell a true monger. I see y'all jumping in here. What up, what up, what up? What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. Hit the like, hit the like, hit the like, hit the like. And I would like to hear from you guys. Call in. If you guys call in sooner, I can get to you faster. And I'm going to start limiting just a little bit, just so I can get everybody on, so people are not waiting for 20 minutes or 30 minutes. I want to be able to get you guys on. Manuel Jones, what up? Respect.
Broadcasting live from Los Angeles, to which you will be invited, and we'll be rolling out a robust social media campaign.
Why do I have an alarm for 7:15?
Caring about the community means caring about the climate. At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that we really can.
No, I didn't see your question. Where is it? Can you be in physical survival mode but thrive relationally? Ooh, I want you to answer it. You should call in. I want you to share your insights. Got my book. Thank you, Zoe. Much appreciated. Baba's Vegan Cafe. I was there, man. I love the food. I love the food, and I'm glad you were able to get your book. As a matter of fact, all of the books are sold. Everybody give a round of applause to A. Britt Atwater. Yes, I need you to answer that question. You know, come on now. Everybody give a round of applause to A. Britt Atwater for purchasing those books so we could give them back on a discount level. Hey, A. Britt, man, thank you, brother. All of the books have been sold. All 20 books have been sold.
We're live in 30.
My dad's going to a club, but not a book club, a salsa club.
Finding new hobbies comes with age.
My mom has started getting lost and not knowing where she's going.
Becoming lost or disoriented doesn't. Confusion with time or place may be a sign of Alzheimer's. An early diagnosis can help improve the quality of life for your loved one. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org.
What's up? What's up?
More. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580. Clip right after.
short money, you're stuck on the ground. Turn around, get ready, keep your eye on the clock, and be on point for the future shock. Hard down.
I am Rach McLeod. I'm a licensed clinical social worker and emotional wellness coach. And today I want to talk to you about the topic of living most of your life in a survival state. And this is something I hear a lot from clients. This is, gosh, more real than we give credit to. And it's a huge challenge, and this is a very painful situation that many people are learning to cope with and are thriving in many areas of their life, except for some of the most important areas, which is how they're treating themselves, their self-talk, how they're treating their loved ones, how their ability to connect or not connect. And a lot of this has to do with living in a survival state. And I really want to talk about that because, gosh, this is something my clients are talking about when why they're choosing to work with me. This is something that people are saying all the time, and I want you to understand that brains are functioning much different in a survival state than it is in a regulated, restful, safe state. The brain function is entirely different. And so if you're in a survival state, you're going to be in a state of some level of fight, flight, freeze, faint, or fawn. And this is just something that you stay in, that may be a very light level, or maybe you might be somebody that everybody knows, hey, walk on eggshells around them because they get really mad, or they get, this is also the case when people who have habits and patterns of oversleeping, right? Or others who are manipulating others, or who are being passive aggressive, and that's their way of being. This is a lot about a dysregulated nervous system, and that also means someone who's living in a survival state of some kind and cannot shift out. And at some level, this stuff is running. And this also is happening when you find people who have to have lots of stimulation. They have to have the radio on, they have to have the TV on, they have to have their app on, they have to be scrolling, they have to be doing multiple things at the same time just to get some peace and quiet in their mind, which you would think is opposite, right? But they know they've learned.
Ladies and gentlemen, the VOR back in the building. We've come full circle after having come forward live on KBLA Talk 1580 AM. The reason why I like bringing these types of discussions to this platform is because a lot of folk don't even think all of this is tied into relating. They think, hey, you know what? You know what would be a nice thing to do? Let's go to the hip hop museum and hang out and chill. Like, and then afterwards, let's go get something to eat. Yay. Listen, relationships are far more spiritual than they are social. The social is the seasoning. The spiritual is the meat. That is the entree of why you guys like each other, attracted to each other, spend time with each other. There are lessons that are to be had. And this is why I have these types of conversations, because I know most people don't understand regulating their emotions or getting their nervous system to calm down. Like, relax, bring some peace into you. I was one of those folks. I ain't gonna lie. You just don't know how much is involved in relating. And I would surmise that quite a few of us are in a survival mode type of relationship or experiencing some variation of diet love. Attila Phillips says you can't regulate when you're disassociated. You better, come on. Living in survival mode and prioritizing self-care, right? Living in survival mode can significantly impact our ability to prioritize self-care within a relationship. When consumed by the constant need to survive, individuals may neglect their own well being, leading to emotional and physical exhaustion. The focus on immediate survival can overshadow the importance of nurturing oneself and maintaining a healthy balance within the relationship. Sometimes you're in survival mode when you got to pick and choose your peace and quiet or the harmony in the relationship. And of course, sometimes you have to pick yourself. Many times you have to pick yourself. But if you pick yourself every time, what does that do to the relationship? Oh, this is interesting stuff. Hey, Ed from South Central, get in here. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Brother, Sir Williams, amen. Once again, you hitting out the park with the trauma that a lot of us are willing to bring into our relationships, brother. I already shared my show to my youngin', because a lot of times it's no surprise that a gangster boo what a gangster dude. You feel me? And it's you know, and look, I'm gonna land my plane here because it took me 50 years to figure out. You know what? It's about faith, respect. You know, the great Pimp Sugar Free once said, "I won't knock a pork chop off your plate if you won't knock one off of mine." That is the energy a lot of these young people don't even understand. They just know there's been trauma heaped on them, and they looking for somebody to save them, and in essence, they bring in a whole bunch of baggage that they about to heap on you. You're hitting it on the head tonight, brother.
Brother, man, I appreciate you. Guess what you just did? Ed.
Go ahead.
I said, guess what you just did, Ed?
What did I just do?
You just brought South Central in the building. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call us at 1-800-920-1580. Survival mode, relationships, and personal growth. Survival mode relationships have the potential to lead to personal growth and transformation. When faced with adversity, individuals may develop resilience, adaptability, and resourcefulness. The challenges encountered within a survival mode relationship can serve as the catalyst for personal growth, right? Pushing individuals to overcome their limitations and also, maybe pushing them to a point where they can discover some new strength, right? No pain, no gain is what the weightlifters always said. And sometimes you got to push that muscle till muscle failure. And when you do that, the muscle heals again. But once it heals, it actually gets stronger. No pain, no gain. But I don't think anyone should stay stuck in a survival mode relationship. Like it's a brain activity, survival mode, right? You're going to get cortisol released in the brain. Like everything gets heightened. You can't stay in that space, right? You just can't stay in that space. And I think relationships are a perfect example. Yes, you can use this survival mode for a moment and say, all right, let me get my stuff together. Let me refocus. Let me rebuild. Let me get back. But after you get back, you can't maintain that survival mode mentality. And it's probably hard to do because, we get a little addicted to the chemicals that come from our brains. We love it. And sometimes we might put ourselves in a situation to constantly experience that high. Somebody called it, Truemonger called it relationship cocaine. I understand. Hey, Attila, Houston, Texas, get in here and talk to me.
Uncle Joe, I didn't realize it was gonna be that fast.
Well,
No.
it's gonna be really fast because you up against the clock.
All right, so real quick.
Here we go.
Okay, so I said that it is hard to regulate when you are dissociating, right? So you know how they used to have the term multiple personality disorder, which has since been changed into dissociative identity disorder.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because they figured out that your personality does not have multiple parts. It's just that you have one personality that's been fragmented. And I think that's what happens when we're in survival mode for too long. So what does that look like in your relationship? You show up fragmented in your relationship. So your partner can only really get pieces and shards and fragments of you because you don't have a full contained self identity.
Go deeper. That's whoa. I think that's everybody though.
Yes. I personally, I don't really think we can live in this world, in this matrix, and not have some piece of that, right? Because, you know, social media even kind of sets it up that way. That's why your life looks so much grander and filtered and all of that through social media than it does in real life.
But haven't you experienced somebody in a relationship and they got to a point where they were so different and you were like, who are you? This is an entirely different somebody else, right? Or at one point they loved you like crazy. But then at another point, it's almost like that love never existed and they could just be an entirely different. Isn't that interesting?
Right. So then I have to ask myself, who am I? And where did the love for myself go? Is the love for myself conditional?
Ooh.
Is the love for myself fleeting? Does it come some days and go others? Because I guarantee you, in each of those situations, that's exactly what was going on with me.
Hold on tight. When we come forward, we going back to Houston, Texas, because the girl is cooking. To your town. Don't let them get you down. They say you times are tough. You hear that times are hard. You know you pull the right card. Hard time. All in change. Now, do you know that record? That record was bit from another record. Did you know that? That record was bit from another record. Curtis Blow. Hard Times. Even the lyrics before that came out. Curtis Blow produced that. Just from our time in hip hop, you don't rhyme another dude's rhyme. He did, but I never knew until years later that Hard Times was Curtis Blow's record. I was like, y'all was biting in the beginning? Oh, no. I was blown away. And go listen, because they're on his Hard Times. They're on that one too. Man, I was like, the same lyrics, Curtis is rapping some of them. I'm like, whoa, blew my mind. No, of course he co-signed it. Yeah. Of course he co-signed it. But that Hard Times record by Run DMC, when I was a kid, that was one of my favorite records. I was like, shit, Hard Times. It was bitten. Arabia. She in there snacking. I want to unplug the phone and walk y'all in there so y'all can see her. She just be snacking. She said, I'm coming. What up, peoples? Y'all good? Is everybody good? Lyrical Theft. Taj Dollars. What up? Chipmunkin. That's funny. We love our snacks. Yeah. You know who said that? Your twin, Atala. We love our snacks. Hey, don't get it twisted. Hey, where my callers at? I want to hear from Reggie because Reggie gonna have an insight on this tonight. I want to hear from Reggie. Garfield Rule, what up? Double MB, what up? A Brit Atwater, what up? Taj Dollars, what up? Truemonger, what up? Attila, what up? Brandon Terry, what up? What up? What up? Suge Mac 510. Yeah, yeah. What's macking? Yay area in the building. Yeah, yeah. We up in here. We got our folks up in here. Vanetta Colbert up in the building. Who is that? One Tree in the building. I thought I saw Ida in the building. Yes, Ida in the building. This topic is hella current for me. I wish I could call in without setting off drama in my house. Super lame, but I'm thankful. Barry Lewis, all good, Zoe. What up? Mo Gravy 90. Hey, Zoe, watching from Sacramento. Mo Gravy, call in and say hello to me. Call in, young lady. 1-800-920-1580. We need callers because we want a conversation. Tulsa, Oklahoma in the house. Hey, Barry Lewis, call in. Let's talk about it. Oh, think One Tree got the boot. He got the boot? Why? Why? They was tripping? I like it. You done ate good. You look happy. You look satisfied. Goofy comments. Oh, I got it. Okay.
You should have texted me when you had no creamer.
You got a little, what do you got a Happy Meal. This child. She got a Happy Meal. Dang, this hits close to home. That's why I say you should call in. Survival mode equals zoning out. Garfield rule. Big up yourselves. She told me. Soon as I walked in, she told me about you today. She said, thank you, Zoe. I said, what did I do?
Right, I didn't even tell you, Lord Jesus, I was supposed to.
I said, I didn't do nothing.
He had told me. I was like, oh, okay. I did it last night. She called me this morning. She was like, whenever you can, come out.
Live in 30 seconds. Here we go. These two are me.
Community.
Just had a fight with my family over something trivial told. We barely had confrontation.
It says,
I think she get it from my mama. Her beating is passed down the road. Siblings had grown up on a lot of trauma. She too defensive to listen my concern.
yeah.
I got problems. You got the type of best that I need. I couldn't think the one to mention simply. They were calling on the girl that I need. It's me working on being so crazy. What's the time for it? It's only working. So I figured I'd call it early. Tell me right now, mercy. I gotta bring it to me. So just lay it down.
first sign is you are having a hard time relaxing and winding down. And it's hard to just sit still without some form of stimulation. This is a really common space that people get into when they're always in this survival mode, where it's like they can't properly wind down and just be. And they always are like, I see people always escaping into things. It's like the phone escaping into, the television has to be on, and often trying to like multitask at once, or not being able to just like sit for a moment and like be with your emotions and be with your thoughts and be with your body and just like be with yourself. So this is a really clear sign that we're more like overstimulated and usually just have a subconscious comfort zone around being in sympathetic nervous system mode more often. And keep in mind too, like sympathetic nervous system mode is like we are in fight or flight mode, sometimes freeze or fawn mode, and we are not like there's massive impacts on like our immune system, on our ability to like be in rest and digest mode, properly repair at our body at the cellular level. Like there are tremendous implications to being stuck in sympathetic nervous system mode for too long, not just mentally, emotionally, but also physically. The second major sign that you're living in survival mode is you find yourself overly reactive to small things. Usually we become overly reactive to small things because there's big things in the background that we're not properly addressing. And so this could be that we have hugely unmet needs. It could be that, you know, we are feeling triggered on a regular basis. We're feeling overwhelmed in our life. We're teetering on the brink of burnout all the time. And so, you know, the moment something comes into our lives, it may seem small from an objective point of view, but from the internal point of view, it's the straw that broke the camel's back. And, you know, it feels like the world's crashing down because, you know, there's so much going on for you know, that person on their throughout their daily life, essentially. Number 3, this is a really interesting one. It feels like this isn't coming up very well. Everything feels like you're rushing. It feels like literally everything is just like hurry, 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 go, go, go.
Ladies and gentlemen, boy, was that Thais? That's Thais Gibson, right? Hey, man, I like her channel on YouTube. Check her out, man. I like her channel. She breaks down the attachment styles and she offers all types of workshops. You know, Zoe gonna get the information everywhere. I read so much, it ain't even funny. I just be reading just to be reading. Let me get a book right now. I'll read to you right now. But I'm saying, Thais Gibson, she's very on point with her information. And she just talked about what I was saying. Like, you can't stay stuck in survival mode in a relationship. It's going to wreak havoc on everything around you and your partner as well. And let me just say this. I'm not going to say survival mode makes you selfish. Survival mode, I am not going to say it makes you a narcissist, but I will say survival mode makes you self-centered. Because you're in survival mode, for Christ's sake. You're trying to live to the next moment. And it's hard to be in a relationship with someone in that mindset. Heavy stuff. Let's get Attila back in here. Attila, get in here.
Uncle Joe. Okay, so to me, she really just explained what I was saying previously. That's the fragmentation piece, right? I'll say this, even if the person's heart is with you, they're really, really into you, and they really do want to invest in you, they can't. How do I do that? Like, maybe even made a comment in the chat when you see. She said, I get that we sometimes go into survival mode, but we can also have peace too. I agree, but that takes a lot of mindfulness. Are you that mindful? Like, can you even do that for yourself if you need to, right? And so if you're involving another individual, I think that kind of compounds the problem and makes it even more difficult. So yeah.
I love it. Guess what you just did, child?
I brought Houston in the building.
You brought Houston, Texas in the building. I love it when my little sister call in. She's always swinging for the fences. We appreciate the call. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call us at 1-800-920-1580. And to speak to what she was saying, of course, I cannot go a show without mentioning, who am I about to mention, Andy? Andy, who am I about to mention? It seems like I can't go a show without mentioning, who am I about to mention?
Jiddu Krishnamurti.
You better believe it. There's no way I can do this show without talking about Jiddu Krishnamurti. Boy, I love me some Jiddu Krishnamurti. Now, this is what he says about psychological fragmentation. A mind that is divided itself, that lives in fragments, obviously can't love. Division implies sorrow. It is the root cause of sorrow. Division between you and me, we and they, the black, the white, the brown, and so on. He's talking about psychological fragmentation and how it is an impediment to actually loving. This is why I said it doesn't make you a narcissist, but it does make you a bit self-centered to where you are the priority. Listen, you can't be the priority in a relationship. We have to be a priority if we're going to call it a relationship. A mind that is divided in itself, that thrives in fragments, obviously cannot love. Division implies sorrow, or as the Buddhists would say, dukkha, bad space. The reason why it's bad space is because you only got space for yourself, for your petty little wants and desires. Yes, they're petty. Because when you start when you peel the onion back, you go, oh, okay, you neglected to hug yourself. You neglected to love yourself. You neglected to honor yourself, respect yourself, approve of yourself. Heavy stuff, right? Sheesh. We got to call her online. Reggie, Austin, Texas. Get in here.
Man, I can remember trauma a little bit differently. I never had a problem with the event that caused the trauma. The trauma for me was when I had to deal with everything by myself. And the response to the event made it traumatic for me. Because I felt like it was nobody else I could call on but myself. Like it was nobody else I could lean on because nobody was going through what I was going through. That was the illusion of trauma. It makes you think that
Wait, stop, because that's just too heavy for you to keep talking. What he said was that was the illusion of trauma. That is such a go ahead, brother. I'm sorry, because you just flowed right past it, and it's just too profound to do that. Go ahead.
The illusion is like a mirage. You think it's one thing, and it turns out to be something else, and you put all your energy into the response to the trauma, and you don't put your energy where it belongs. And so when you were saying that it's self-centered, I get that, but I look at it as being imbalanced. Because sometimes you have to look at yourself, but you can't stay on yourself, but you have to look at yourself. And for me, when I was dealing with the worst events of my life, I felt like I was the only one dealing with it. And that was totally incorrect.
Right.
Everybody's dealing with something. Large or small, everybody's dealing with something. And I don't have to deal with anything by myself. Like, I'm sure somebody else is going through what I'm going through right now. Be it with my health, or be it with my relationships, or be it with my job, or whatever it is. Somebody else is going through it. And you're part of a community, like the community of this radio show. It's a community. We all are going through something, and we all are dealing with something. But if you look at it in the long run, not just your small thing, but look at it larger, you can see, okay, we can get out of this thing.
Because
a way of escape out of this.
Because we're interrelated.
Absolutely.
See, you said it so powerfully, right? You said, we're thinking about us and how we get out, or how I get out of it. We're thinking about ourselves, right? And From that trauma, it creates this whole illusory kind of perspective, like, oh my God, I'm doing this by myself. But then when you take a step back, if you have the capacity to do so, when you take a step back, you can recognize that, yo, what I'm going through is related to others because I'm going through it. It's affecting them. Their effect. You see what I'm saying? Like there's a
Yeah.
web, there's a ripple effect that's created by what you're going through. And oftentimes, because it hurts, all we could do is focus on our pain, right?
Right. And that's the issue. I mean, what affects one directly affects all indirectly.
Ooh, okay, hold tight. Hold tight. Reggie from Austin, Texas is up in here cooking. When we come forward, I got to go back. He's got to dig deeper on that one. That was heavy.
City of Los Angeles landlords that own rent-controlled properties, starting February 1st, you'll be able to increase rents by 4% for your rent-controlled properties. An extra 1% per utility, up to 6%, can be added only if you pay the entire gas and electric bill. And don't forget to give your tenant an advance 30-day written notice for rent increases of less than 10%. State law. Learn more about the rent increase at housing.lacity.org.
Yo, thank you. Thank you, brother. That's the hey, an hour in. That's our first 10. We appreciate you, True Monger. Thank you, man. And listen, if you guys want to hit me on Cash App, I think Lloyd Hinton just did. I appreciate the Cash Apps as well. Please continue to support the channel. We're at $10. We try to get to $100 in super chats every night. We're $90 away. There's multiple ways to support this show. You can go to my website, mrzowhat.com. You could purchase my books. You could hit the super chat. The super chat is the little dollar sign down at the bottom of the chat. If everybody in the chat right now gave $2, we would have $100. Or if everybody gave $3, we would have $100. We have 50 people in here. If everybody gave $2, we'd have $100. So I'm asking that everybody continue to support, 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 support. We only have $10 on the super chat. We're an hour into the show. Support, support, support. And if you want to put it directly in my pocket, you can go to Cash App, my Cash App. Can my moderators put the Cash App handle in the chat? On that one.
The voice of reason.
You like it. Every time it come on, that little hand get over there and turn up the volume. I'd be like, oh, okay. All right. That's right. If everybody did what Mac Shook 510 just did, shout out to the chat room and Zoe. That's all we need is everybody to drop $2. It's a mandate. You don't have to drop 10. You don't have to drop 5. With 54 people in here, if everybody dropped 2, we would reach our $100 goal. Atala Phillips, I appreciate the Cash App. Thank you so much. 55 people. If everybody dropped 2, you can't even buy a cup of tea with $2.
A cup of tea or a cup of joe.
Can I get all my lovers and lurkers to say hello? I know you guys are at work. I know you guys are busy. Hey, just say hello.
Only God can judge me. Is that right? Now clap. All you other motherfuckers up there, my business. Really? To the facts. Stabbed in the back, I couldn't trust my own homie. Just to put some facts. Will I succeed? Having no it from the weed. And hopes people try to focus, but I can't see. And in my mind, I'm a blind man doing time. Until my future, cause my past is all behind me. See the crime, the fight, for
Ladies and gentlemen, the VOR has returned. My playlist is my co host. Can you imagine if you have this kind of mentality in your relationship? Listen to his lyrics. The great Tupac. I put together a cold playlist tonight to exemplify what it sounds like to be in survival mode. We started with Run DMC's Hard Times. And of course, that was the legendary Tupac, Only God Can Judge Me. Imagine if you walking around your relationship with the spirit of this kind of emotion, this kind of perspective. Of course, your partner will be walking on eggshells, man. This is diet love. Love is about freedom. I need you to understand that. Love is about freedom, right? The freedom to be yourself. Can I be honest with you guys? People don't want to hear this, but I must be totally transparent with you. Freedom has nothing to do with safety. Because we don't have freedom and we live in a fear-based society, safety has now become the number one good quality for a relationship. You need psychological safety. Why? Because everybody was born to a whip. That means everybody was prone to being hurt in some kind of way, and they carry that hurt into the relationship. And in order to relate, they must be safe. There must be safety. But that's going to put a cap on how deeply you can feel, how deeply you can access the very thing that is synonymous with God, unconditional love. That's why the conditions matter. Oh, goodness. Let's get Reggie back in here because he was already cooking. Reggie, I need you, brother.
And everybody has a story to tell. And everybody's story is important and it needs to be heard. And so it's your job to listen to somebody else's story because you can learn something about your life that you don't have to learn by bumping your head.
Right.
The last thing I'm going to say is, man, it takes some courage to be transparent.
Ooh, keep going.
It takes and the transparency is a requirement for healing. You can't heal what you won't reveal. That's just real.
Well, write it down then. If you're going to rap, you might as well write it.
Seriously, find an artistic way to share your story, and you can help somebody else in the process. You can help yourself too. I mean, it's not corny or whatever. It's a requirement for healing.
Right.
And it's that important for us to do. So I hope we can continue with this show and continue sharing our viewpoints, and we'll end up better than we started.
Man, I appreciate you, brother. And guess what you just did?
Brother Austin in the building.
Austin, Texas is in the building. I love my brother Reggie. Every time he calls in, he drops jewels. Los Angeles. Get in here, JW.
Hey, how you doing, Zoe?
South Central in the building. What up, man?
Right there. Hey, I didn't have a chance to call back last night in reference to emotional maturity. Conversation to finish my point, but just to tie this in, if you think about something, be able to have critical analysis and think critically in reference to being emotional mature. That's how you develop emotional maturity, for one thing. And in reference to your struggle love, struggle survival conversation and relationship, I'm using another equation. Let's think about somebody trying to keep their head above water because it's a flood, right? But you're struggling to survive, right? They want to stay alive. And that way, they're going to run out of energy and they're going to burn themselves out and they get fed up. And if that's how a person stops loving another individual, they just get exhausted and burned out. And that's what made me call, because I believe you made that reference on somebody else did, the burnout part. But I wanted to make that comment. And plus, another thing is, you're not being selfish or narcissistic or someone along those lines, prideful or arrogant. It's more being, being in touch with your spiritual nature. or you're a spiritual being, and you're working on worldly nature or human nature, like you should have that reference, no food with mother nature, right? Or spiritual nature, which is permanent, it's primal,
Mm-hmm.
and animalistic, it's a lower nature, like I said before. Because spiritual nature is divine, and that's universal, and it's outside the realm of the earth or the world, and that makes it internal. And that's being which God's law and order and structure. But the point is, when God honors marriage in terms of covenant, when you get married, He doesn't honor it until you consummation when a man has relationship, especially with his wife, and penetrates her. And then you become one unit. So you should be one unit, and you can afford to be selfish because you're one unit and not two separate individuals going in two separate directions. That's what they say about what's that word?
J Dub. Hey, J Dub, I got to carry you over, bro. I want you to finish your thought on the other side. JW from South Central is over here cooking. When we come forward, we gonna start hour number 2 on fire.
JW.
Yo, 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 yo. I need some more callers. Where are my callers? I want to hear from y'all. Call in and share your thoughts on tonight's topic. We're at $24 on the super chat. I appreciate it. We're at the top of hour number 2. And you already know this show's going to continue to fly. Huh? Say it again. I heard that.
That's my birthday.
Planning the birthday. I got you. Hey, Mira. Is that Mira? I don't know how to say that. Duvini? Mira Duvini? Number love and appreciation. Number love and appreciation. Of course, I love the 5150 show, man. We did some legendary shit over there. None but love for my brothers over there. Brother and sister, Darlene, Corey, none but love. You understand? None but love. And Reggie cooked. Reggie absolutely cooked. Emmanuel Jones, thank you for the 10 spot. We appreciate it. Vanetta Colbert, thank you for the 2 spot. We asking people to drop 2s and fews. Truemonger, thank you for the 10 spot. That's how we got there. That's how we got to $24. But you do know, if we stay at $24, of course, YouTube is going to take 30% of that. We have to move as a collective. That's why we try to get everybody that's in here to give a small amount, as opposed to asking one individual to give $100 or $50 or $20. If everybody moves, and of course, might not be possible for everybody to move, but in theory, that's how we're looking at it. If everybody can support, if everybody can share, we're going to make a different kind of impact if just 1 or 2 people do it. So everybody that has done it, thank you. Everybody that can do it, that hasn't done it, do it now.
Become your cellmate. Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetish. Financial infidelity.
I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait?
Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff? The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I was like, is this something wrong there?
He told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed. Hit you with a bad touch routine. How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches the nip.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses. Yeah.
How do you write women so well?
So Williams. Reason and accountability. The voice of reason.
Hi everybody, Dr. Joe here again. I wanted to spend a few moments with you quickly and remind you of some important things around these times of great challenge for certain people. I want you to understand that all of the work you've been doing in your meditations, whether you're doing a walking meditation or a seated meditation, or you're overcoming yourself, or you practice connecting to that infinite field of potentials where you'll experience wholeness. These times in particular are the times that you've been preparing for and all the work that you've been doing. And now it's time to live this work. And it's time to step out of fear and separation because you're only suggestible to information equal to the emotions that you experience. And that's what programs the autonomic nervous system into a particular destiny. So when everybody else is experiencing fear, that's the time to experience courage or to maintain courage. When everybody else is in scarcity and lack, that is the time to give. And we have to be able to demonstrate what it looks like to this world, so more and more people are no longer controlled by their environment and the circumstances that are outside of them. So think about it. All of your work and dedication is for you to sustain some type of change independent of the conditions in your environment, to literally be greater than your body and to be able to sustain that change for a period of time. And many people during a time where they experience survival will experience separation. And we know what the stress hormones do in survival. And you have been trained very well to open your hearts and to go against that primitive nervous system that keeps us in our animal nature. So step out of the common, step out of the natural and the normal, and become supernatural and demonstrate what it is to be natural.
Heavy stuff. The VOR back in the building. Are you making are you in the good times of relationships? We should play the good times theme. TV show. Again, making a way when you can, temporary layoff. Are you in that kind of love, survival mode love? I just want to know. I mean, it's heavy. That was Joe Dispenza. Yeah. It's heavy, man, living in that kind of love. Many of us don't know how to get out. But again, heart-centered versus central nervous system centered. You got to get into that heart center and get out of that old brain, the limbic system that is flight or fight, fight or flight or freeze, right? It's heavy stuff. JW from South Central is still on. We want to get his final thought. JW, what's your final thought, sir?
Yes, sir. Just so I can land, like the brother just said, he pretty much said everything I said, but I allude to the same thing in a different manner. But yeah, man, you gotta connect to the spirit and don't be bound to this world system or where your physical emotions or your mental aspect limit you to the world structure and the outward influences, and you go within or internal, which is your soul and your spirit. And like I was saying, the confirmation when you get that marital contract of a marriage is when one person connects with the other person physically, and you go inside
and you become one unit of one person.
That's right, J-Dub.
And that becomes equally yoked. That's where the term equally yoked comes from, of one person, and you become that being, that force, that unit that can conquer the world. It's like me and you against the world, baby.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Somebody else could be being equipped from God.
J-Dub, guess what you just did, man?
Well, South Central in the hizzy housey.
In the hizzy housey. Yes, sir. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. I know these are difficult conversations, but they must be had, right? Relationships are not playthings. I had somebody tell me I played in their face. And probably, I mean, more than likely it was true, right? But my intention wasn't to play in their face. But you cannot, and I want to tell people this. This is like being in a, kind of diet love kind of situation, right? Trying to convince somebody that your intention was good. That's, to me, you put yourself in survival mode when you got to fight to prove where you stand. Right? The truth is what it is. The mountain does not have to convince you that it's a mountain. It is what it is. Right? And oftentimes, when you hurt people, the image that they held before the hurt is damaged. So now, whatever they believe to be true about you is very difficult to maintain. And that being the case, the relationship starts to lose access to the energy that once brought you guys together, right? I call that relationship entropy, right? You lose access to that. And now the relationship starts to, shift into this space of side-eyeing and not sure and doubt and fear. Living in survival mode within intimate relationships carries a profound implication for the individuals involved, shaping the dynamics, connection, and emotional landscape of the partnership. The metaphor of impoverished communities developing the skill to extract the very best from the very least of what society and the environment can provide provides a poignant reflection of the resilience and resourcefulness embedded within relationships operating in survival mode. Let me just tell you right now, you're going to have to learn how to be resourceful in relationships. There's never going to be a relationship where it doesn't require internal work and external work. So resourcefulness is a good tool to have. It's an excellent tool to have. If you're not resourceful, then that means you're probably not adaptable. If you're not adaptable, that means you're probably stagnant. If you're stagnant, that means you're probably not going to be for long for this world. Stagnant water is not going to grow a garden. Do you understand? So there must be growth. And a lot of people want this, this fanciful kind of everything going to be all right. It's going to be peace all the time. No, there are going to be some severe challenges. And I mean severe. And as you make your way through these challenges, you get to grow up a little bit. If you can make it, if you and your partner can make it through, you get to grow up a little bit. And I'm saying growing up spiritually, not chronologically. The brain chemistry associated with survival mode profoundly impacts our ability to connect with our partners, as heightened stress responses and fear-based neurochemical patterns can hinder the experience of emotional intimacy, empathy, and mutual understanding. This can create a barrier to genuine emotional connection and authentic expression within a relationship. I want you to hear that, right? These neurochemical patterns, right? Fear-based neurochemical patterns can hinder the experience of emotional intimacy, empathy, and mutual understanding. That's heavy. That's heavy. When I come forward, we're going to go to the third city. Y'all know what's up with the third city, the Windy City. Y'all know what's up with the Windy City, Chi-Town. We got folks in the building. Let's get it.
The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings will disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams.
What up, y'all? We got 50 people in here. I didn't see your question. Where was your question? Can you see and understand the errors of your partner without completely recontextualizing how you know them? Who's doing the recontextualizing? You or the filter that you're looking at your partner through? What's doing the recontextualizing? You think so? I love it. Everybody got to make me think. I be wanting y'all to call in and share like that. That's why I love her calls. You saw that. It's the filter. Hey, man, we had $24. If they can do it, they can do it. If they can't, they can't. My filter is romance. There go. There go Mimi. Live in a minute. Mimi.
Find additional resources in Los Angeles.
CSI and First 48.
Stay connected to Stay Housed LA County for updates. This and more at stayhousedla.org. Stay connected to Stay Housed LA for updates. This and more at stayhousedla.org. That's stayhousedla.org. Or call their hotline at 213-694-0040. We've got your black with a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
More is the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
I just want to thank you. No drop. The time to listen. No clip on it. Yo, I'm bouncing label to label, just trying to get the whole side of the state. This was part of the dynasty. At least I was trying to be. It was the time in my life when I was finding myself sitting in the spot with the dimes, willing to do anything just to be a bad boy at the time. That's right. Then I rolled the dice, and all the money didn't add up, but just that whole experience. It was priceless. No free rides to the bank. On top of that, the untimely demise of Frank B.I. in the No Way Out tour. We were smoking outdoor. 8 stacks on CeeLo. That's without tour. Videotaped it all. I still watch it now. I traveled the world. Learned how to rock the crowd. Ain't much, but it beats poor. Things that I've been through. It's all I can speak for.
Ladies and gentlemen, the VOR. Live on KBLA. The playlist is on fire tonight. Discount love, i.e., survival mode relationships. Man, we've really gotten deep, and so many people are calling in from all over the country. We got Mississippi, we've got Philadelphia, we've got Chicago. And who's been on the longest? Chicago. Let's get Third City up in here. Chicago. Lloyd, how you doing, brother? What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
How you doing, man?
Man, I'm alive and well, brother. You?
Yeah, I'm making a move, bro. I'm on my way to my home in Kissimmee, but I was just listening to you talk. I've been married 32 years and pulled the plug on it because it's not about the longevity; it's about the substance in the marriage.
Wow.
And me being there, it wasn't good enough for me. We didn't talk in the past. I told you about the health situation today.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I'm just coming back from South Africa about 3 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And that shit gets heavy. And then I was on this beach, and I was sitting there, just taking everything in. And this dude hit me on the shoulder and said, "Everything gonna be okay." And I'm like, "This somebody I never seen before in my life." And I turn around, and there wasn't nobody there.
Oh, wow.
And it was man, it was a whole lot of emotions. I'm like, wow, wow.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got back, I told my wife, I said, "No, this is not working. We've been sleeping in separate bedrooms going on 10 years. We just been going through the motions." And I took myself out the equation because not only for my mental health, my physical health, and also in doing that, I believe it would help the household because evidently it wasn't no good for neither one of us. But I enjoy your show, man. We a rap, man.
Hey,
You something like that from South Africa.
brother, I love you, man. Hey, let me just say, man, it takes a tremendous amount of strength to be able to get in here and share the way you share, man. And it's not an easy walk to be able to let something go that is 30 plus years, man. So
Don't look at the years, man. People get hung up on that. I mean, they might say, time is something you can't replace. And I don't even look at it as wasted. I looked at it as a learning experience. And I thought about how somebody I know married for 40 years, but behind closed doors were they happy? And I don't think nobody else can define my happiness but me.
wow. Wow. Well, brother, I appreciate you, man. You brought Chicago in the building, and anytime you need me, brother, reach out, all right?
All right, bro. Good show.
Thank you, brother. Hey, that's Chicago in the building. Let's go. We got callers from all over the country. Let's get them in here. Smoke, Philadelphia, PA. Get in here.
Hey, Joe, man. Long time listener, first time caller. Just wanted to give you your flowers, brother, man. You're revolutionary with the way that you dissect things, analyze things, and a lot of brothers from all over the globe is listening to you, man. I just wanted to tell you that
Thank you.
people like myself, man, bro, without you, I don't know where I would have been in my younger years. I've been listening to you for about like 7 years, bro.
Thank you, brother.
And yeah, man, I don't know where I would have been without you, man. You gave a lot of pertinent gems and things that I used throughout my dating experience and dating history and stuff like that. But on the topic, I think that relating nowadays is all superficial. I don't know if you can come to the table with the person and actually iron out your wants, the things that you don't want, your likes, your dislikes, the things that you have to work on spiritually, the things that you've mastered spiritually with anybody, because everybody's kind of looking for the best particular deal that they can get without putting in the most that they need to put in. They're looking for the best deal with the least amount of effort. And so I don't really know if in today's world you can actually get a situation where both of you are spiritually yoked in the way that you need to be. And I don't mean like on some Christian stuff. I mean just kind of like both of you guys are evolving within the same way, dealing with traumas that you have to deal with and to master personally for you guys get into a particular situation.
Wow. Hey, brother. Let me just say, number one, thank you for calling in. Thank you for riding with me all these years, man. And I appreciate your insights. And there are a lot of people out there who think just like you. So, you never know, man, what your words might have done to somebody in terms of inspiring them to want to look deeper into the true meaning of relationships. So I appreciate you for calling in, Smoke. Guess what you just did, bro?
With the city in the building, let me
You
know.
brought Philadelphia brotherly love in the building. You know what it is. Oh, get ready. Get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
If y'all don't put your seat belts on, yes, my. Straight from Mississippi. We already know she's about to cook with the rarest grease. Nikki from the SIP with the food for thought. Let's go.
Brothers over the fam.
Yes. Welcome.
All of this sounds like malnourishment to me.
Ooh, here we go.
If we really believe that we are kings and queens, the concept of discount love or cheaper love, less valued love, not top shelf love. It's not a sustainable concept. That's called failure to thrive.
Ooh, come on.
We were built, designed, purposed to be kings and queens. Kings and queens don't survive on crumbs. Crumbs is what's left. That was not intended for kings and queens. We sit at the king's table. If we even consider a discount love, you got some coupons, you want $5 and $10 off the love? Come on now. That is the total. I mean, I'm envisioning malnourished people, children, starved. There can be. Source doesn't discount his love to us. Why would we even consider that? Our body would just physically reject that concept totally. So, no, your relationship isn't going to make it. No, I humbly submit, if you are merely surviving, there can be no thriving. Hello.
Keep cooking.
That's not for us. If you're in that circumstance or your relationship becomes that circumstance, there is no wonder it would not be sustainable. Neither person is designed to. Who is designed to sustain that? Who? If there is or are people who are designed to sustain that, please raise your hand so that we can recognize you from afar and stay far away.
Oh, Lord, I know I can't sustain it. Lord, no.
It's just not. No, I don't care how aesthetically pleasing it may appear to be. If there's scarcity or fear doesn't come from source or the Lord, none of that is Christ source-centered. So it can't possibly work if you are a Christ source-centered being. It is impossible. The answer is no. Choose something else. Not going to happen. No.
Tell us how you really feel, Nikki.
No,
No, it's not gonna happen.
no, we can't do that in friendships, associationships,
Ooh,
let alone our intimate relationships.
right, right.
Like, I need the whole you to show up in whatever level of ship we're in.
Mm.
If that looks like scarcity, if that looks like $5 off, you're not gonna make it.
But Nikki, aren't people simply afraid of showing their whole self? And isn't that a type of scarcity?
Yes, it can be.
Mm-hmm.
But see, I don't have a problem with you showing up saying, understand where I'm coming from. There's nothing wrong with being in a state of, I am today a blue light special.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I'm presenting to you today a blue light special.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot stay with me and maintain a blue light special.
Right. The price goes up tomorrow.
In a few minutes, it's going up like the stock market in a minute.
Right. Wait, Nikki, hold it right there. I gotta keep. When we come forward, we going back to Mississippi because Nikki ain't playing with y'all tonight. Nikki don't be playing, boy. Nikki don't be playing. Nikki does not play. My brother said, I choose myself. I respect it, brother. I respect it.
So J Dub called back.
What do you say?
He wanted to chime in on what Nikki is talking about.
Nah,
I was like, nah, bro, you already called back. You good.
You straight.
So I just wanted to let you know, just in case you didn't mind him calling back or whatnot. But
Hey, nah, you straight. You straight.
There are two more hurdles to cross before the city can have full control of the police department. The General Assembly must remove a section of the city charter, and voters must approve the ballot measure in the November election. Preparations continue
Yeah.
in advance of the upcoming trial of four Memphis police officers charged with being responsible for the death of Tyree Nichols in 2023. The latest controversy includes attorneys arguing about expert testimony scheduled without proper notice.
Yeah, I remember that show.
List of experts. The judge is giving those involved until the end of the month to disclose the information. The trial against four of the five officers accused in the death of Nichols, who is black, is scheduled to begin on May 6th. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
If you like using debit or credit, shouldn't you also get rewarded? Well, now you can with Discover Cashback Day. It's a checking account that rewards everyone with cash back on everyday purchases with no fees, period. Check out eligible
What you eating? Snackles? Yeah.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we do Black history every single day. In fact, as the only Black talk radio station west of the Mississippi, we are Black history. Our annual Black History Month luncheon is fast approaching, and we want to be sure to give you ample time to get your company, organization, church, or group to join us at this year's celebration on the last day of the month, Thursday, February 29th at noon. Last year, we honored iconic local Black media personalities, including Pat Harvey, Jim Hill, Mark Brown, Beverly White, Sandy Banks, and Pat Prescott, and raised $20,000 in scholarships. This year, we're honoring Black Hollywood creatives who have used their artistic genius as climate justice champions. At this year's luncheon, we will be showcasing and sharing their inspiring work on our big screen. Plus, a scrumptious meal, live music, great company, and lots of fun with your favorite KBLA Talk 1580 hosts. So contact us today at info@smileyAudiomedia.com or call 323-290-4690. That's info@smileyAudiomedia.com or call 323-290-4690. We hope to see you Thursday, February 29th, as we close out Black History Month.
This is a heavy topic, man. Shit, I'm in survival mode. Like, I mean, I'm a strong dude, right? I'm a wake up every morning. I'm a clean up. I'm a bathe. I'm gonna take the trash out. I'm gonna package up orders. I'm gonna go to the post office. But yeah.
JP Morgan Chase is building on the investments in California and around the country to help close the racial wealth gap and build a more equitable
Hey,
future. As
appreciate you, Smoke. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it, bruh. Seriously, thanks for calling in.
Hosting community seminars with supporting Black-led institutions by building awareness about financial investments, hiring community managers, and opening community center branches like Crenshaw, Inglewood, and downtown LA. Visit today, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity.
We got folk in here watching, but ain't nobody saying nothing. We only get the same amount of people talking. I want all y'all to say hello. Or if you find tonight's conversation interesting, there we go, Charles Walker. If you find tonight's show interesting, call in. If you have a perspective or an opinion, call in. Check the chat, bruh. What does that mean? A Brit Atwater? I'm looking at the chat right now. I'm trying to see what folk talking about. He said, we talking. Yes, I love it. Chief Colas. Buenos noches. I'm going to reset, renew, refocus. Then I'll get back into survival mode exhausted. I got you. Max Shug 510. I appreciate it, brother. I appreciate it. Thank you. Who's the clip?
Accepting crumbs in relationships.
Okay. There. Oh yeah. Yeah.
You're listening to the voice of reason with no Williams, only on KBLA Talk 1580. So I got this two-timing chick who got her revenge from when I was on my 2 times hit. And even when I tried to correct it, she couldn't get past how she was disrespected. Neglected my effort, a girl with no trust, 30 games and affairs that can tearing us up. If things are picture perfect, is it really worth it? I have an idea, but I need help for
Something beautiful to me about people who were abused as kids is that the desire for love and tenderness stays alive in us, even when other people leave us, even when we piece together the thinnest little bits of relationships out of whatever happens to be available. We agree to these kind of time filler relationships, and we try to play it cool when the emptiness inside of those relationships becomes too obvious to avoid. And still we feel love, and we want to be loved. There's an urge in hurt people who pretend to be okay in these relationships to act like the crumbs they're getting are enough. They should be enough, right? Have you done this? When you get treated like you're not important, do you turn against yourself and wonder, is it just me? Am I expecting too much? Am I too needy? Am I unreasonable? Am I just going to get abandoned again if I say something? That's the voice of the trauma in you. The real feeling under that is not needy. It's a natural tendency toward love. And you might settle for less, but if you're feeling that sense of injustice in your heart, that when you opened your life to this other person, you deserved something better than casual treatment. Now, it's true, maybe you didn't choose well or you didn't set boundaries the way an untraumatized person might have done it. But it's the most beautiful part of you that craves that love. It keeps coming back like a dandelion through the crack in the sidewalk. And it comes back because no matter what happened to you in the past, no matter how much this has warped your path and squashed your expectations, you were made to be loved. And accepting crumbs might have been how you survived. But now I want to help you change those terms. No more crumbs. And I want to talk about that today. All right? So my letter is from a woman I'll call Celine.
Wow, she just opened my heart wide up. Sheesh. You listen to the VOR on KBLA Talk 1580. I feel like I ran the marathon 4 times. I mean, goodness, that just pulled so much out of me, man, because she described me. Okay, let me get Nikki back in here. Nikki, finish your final thoughts, sweetheart, because I need this powerful, powerful food for thought.
If you believe what you just heard on any modicum, then you understand the nature of us as human beings and the creation we were made to be is not ever going to desire what's left. No. Not only do you deserve more than that, anybody deserves more than what's left over. But the spirit of you will be in a constant state of more if all you get is what's left. You are beautiful people, fantastic, dynamic people. How do we then relegate ourselves and our relationships to what's left? I think not. No, that's called stinking thinking.
Stinking thinking.
No, and that goes back to planting those seeds we were talking about last night. When life be lifing, and it's telling you that all you are worth or all you can expect is what's left. If you have 0.01 of a seed in the earth somewhere, and understand the seed is what you have in excess. If you have excess tears, and those have been shed from a place of truth, you will recoup that valuable moisture from the universe in a good way. And it won't be what's left. It'll be tears of joy when it comes back to you. Do not allow this thinking to exist in any relationships you have. You only will aspire to the level of the three people closest to you. If they are in a state of scarcity, there you will be also. Demand more than what's left.
I love you. I love you, Nikki. Lord have mercy. The girl come in here every night and delivers a sermon that
No, you're worth more than what's left. You deserve more than on your worst day. You deserve more than what's left.
I needed that, Nikki. I needed to hear that. I ain't even gonna lie.
On your worst day, in the worst circumstances, you deserve more than what's left. Everybody, all the folks listening on the playback, and especially you right now. It's never that. What's left? Don't be ridiculous.
Don't be ridiculous. Nikki, guess what you did? She brought the sip in the building. We appreciate you, Nikki. Call in anytime you want. Nikki don't be playing. This is why I want to flip it another way. Do any of you guys watch the television show, the survival show with Bear Grylls? I saw one episode with Bear Grylls, and this is back in the early 2000s, where Bear Grylls had found a beehive, and he was like, "Oh, I'm going to go over here and get some honey because there's nutrients in the honey, and of course it'll give me a boost of energy, and I'll be able to forage and build a shelter for the night." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So he slide over there messing with some bees and didn't know that he had an allergy, right? He got the honey all right, but then he got stung on the forehead and his whole forehead swole up, right? It was funny, but it wasn't funny. But he was able to survive. I mean, he had a swollen forehead, messed around and caught a rattlesnake, and had something to eat. He cooked the rattlesnake and kept the skin, and it was wild. But imagine if we were like that in our relationships. His thing is training plus resilience, and we're going to make it through. Many of us lack the training, how to be in a relationship, right? We typically model, our parents or our friends or our family or whatever. And then, of course, we model the resilience levels from them as well. But imagine if we were survivalists in a relationship where we say, okay, we need tools. Bear Grylls is so good that he can make tools out in nature. But then there are other survivalists that carry their tools into nature, right? But imagine if your toolbox had, healthy trust, healthy boundaries, forgiveness. You understand? I'm saying like forgiveness, like for real forgiveness, not YouTube forgiveness, not, you know what I'm saying? Trust. Okay, first, trust. Trust is a skill that requires you to not only maintain honesty and openness, but also have faith in your partner if they've given you no reason to doubt them. Now, remember, from yesterday's show, I believe that modern day trust is rooted in fear. But the way they're framing it here is this transparency. And I believe you should trust your partner to be transparent, and you should trust yourself to be transparent, right? The next thing in that toolbox, forgiveness. And you're going to need a lot of it because you're dealing with a flawed person. And not all relationship infractions are intentional, right? Not everybody intends to hurt you. So you shouldn't treat them like, with every infraction, you shouldn't treat them like they tried to do that just because you felt some pain. And I'm just saying, forgiveness means that, understanding, grace, all of that. Forgiveness does not mean your partner consistently breaks your trust and you keep giving them chances. It means letting go of a mistake that they didn't mean to make. You see, intention, right? Apologies and heartfelt forgiveness foster more trust between the two of you. Recognize when you're in the wrong and apologize to your partner. Be specific and acknowledge everything you've done, right? I don't think people understand. This is how relationships survive. Compromise, right? We're talking about compromise on planning, compromise on work, compromise on childcare, compromise in everything other than who you are. Because if you compromise the true core value of what you are, who you are, the relationship will fail. So compromise on all the duties, all the responsibilities, right? Compromise on all of that. But if you compromise yourself, the relationship will struggle, right? A willingness to compromise. There are two people in every relationship, and while you might prefer to do things your own way, if you want a healthy relationship, you're going to have to consider your partner's perspective and what they would like to do as well. I have some more tools. When we come forward, Zoe Williams will continue to crack the code. Well, it's Friday. And all I can say is, well, it's Thursday. And all I can say is on the last day of my week, we did $26 on the super chat. No, you're absolutely right. Man, it's just shit is just crazy, bro. Charles, thank you, sir. No, that's all love. I mean, it's cool. Charles showed up, Charles Walker. What up, Jill Monroe? In here cutting up. You already know what it is. My Friday, anyway. Live in a minute. Hey, send me those Brit Atwater with questions and I'll make them happen. Come on, man. You already, come on. Mac Shug 510, man. I appreciate it. Oh, there go my son texting again. He must be watching the show. I told you my son was watching the show the other day and was like, "That's a nice shirt." Woo! Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on. Hold on. Boy, this playlist is crazy. What else I got? DMX. Oh. Sagittarius is DMX, and here come Gemini. Let's go. Woo! Okay. All right, we already know Gemini. Let me get a little piece of Biggie's verse. Woo! Okay. Wait a minute. What else? What else I got? All right. Ooh. Oh, come on. Survival of the fittest? This is how we are. Oh, all right, that's enough. My playlist is crazy. I just wanted to. We can't. I love the energy of these records, right? The energy of these records is like, oh my God, the aggression. You be like, you know, but you can't be like that in a relationship. Your fist can't be balled up. You got to know how to manage stress. You got to cultivate kindness. You got to be a good listener, right? Right? You got to talk. You got to have empathy. There must be, listen, independence within interdependence, right? I mean, it has to happen. You know, and a lot of people struggle with being able to do that. There has to be conflict management. You know, we got to get the terminology right. It's no longer referred to as conflict resolution because conflict will always be there. You have to manage the conflict. There has to be healthy boundaries. There must be respect, consideration, cooperation, collaboration, quality time, right? Open, non-judgmental communication. I would even say there has to be prayer time. Like where we really get together and get on our knees and get transparent before the face of God. Whatever God you worship, your God could be money. But go say a prayer to that dollar or go to church and pray. Like there must be some spirit time in the relationship. And this is how we become relationship survivalists. We're like Bear Grylls now. You know, you put Bear Grylls in any hostile uh environment on planet Earth in terms of the weather, in terms of the geographic position, whether it's cold, whether it's sand, or whether it's forest or jungle. He knows how to survive. So sometimes we're in survival mode and we take the negative connotation that is associated with it. But sometimes, and I would say, let's flip it, right? Let's be relationship survivalists. Don't you want your relationship to last? Well, you're going to have to overcome some of the wilderness in your spirit. You're going to have to know the topography of the wilderness of your spirit, where your shadow lives. Now, Thomas Campbell, author of My Big Toe, says it a little differently. Improving the quality of your consciousness, advancing the quality and depth of awareness, understanding your nature and purpose, maturation of soul, manifesting universal unconditional love, letting go of fear, and eliminating ego, desire, wants, needs, or preconceived notions. These are the attributes and the results of a successfully evolving consciousness. What do the facts of your life, the facts of your existence, and your results say about the quality of your consciousness, the effectiveness of your process, or the size of your picture? Many of you got a baby picture, but you got giant desires. You looking through baby, spiritually unmature eyes, but you want the world. You want satisfaction. You want softness, peace, and grace, but you haven't cultivated self-awareness enough to understand what's lurking in, listen to what I'm going to say, what's lurking in the wilderness of your soul. You want everybody to do it for you. That's just not how it works. Okay? We started the conversation. You finish it. My friend, your friend, our girl, your girl is up next. Jill Monroe will keep the fire lit. RSVP with Jill Monroe. When I see you, it'll be next week with another series of slappers. Let's get it. Oh, this is yours. I got you. Yo, 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 yo. Hey, great show. Appreciate everybody for tapping in with your brother. I'll see y'all next week. I love y'all. Deuces.